What's up guys, Fosmith here, and today I wanted to cover a topic that I haven't seen bandied about that much on YouTube, or at least English YouTube. Now in America we have Inkpot Awards, and then we have the Eisner Awards. They're pretty much meaningless now because all the nominees have always been shit for the past couple of years. They're sort of the watermark of what's bad with the American comic book industry. But in Japan, there's quite a few manga awards. I would say there's between 20 or 30, and they cover the entire gamut of genres as far as the type of story that these mangas are and the medium in which they're serialized. And one of the bigger awards is the U Next Manga Award. It's literally in Japanese titled the Next Big Manga Award, Tsugi ni Kuru Manga Taisho. And I wanted to cover some of the web comics that were nominated this year because I don't want to talk about shitty comics like Captain Marvel or stuff like that. I actually, in spite of the sarcasm in all my videos, I like sequential art, just not American comics. So one of the nominees that caught my eye because the cover looked really cute was this one. It's called The Maid Simply Eats. Maid-san wa Taberu Dake, or The Maid Only Eats. Presumably she doesn't do anything else. So yeah, the comic itself is drawn and written by a person named Susumu Maeya. And I haven't been able to find any information on this person other than his or her Pixiv fanbox profile. And the comic has been serialized in Comic Days, the website. And apparently this person, Maya Sensei, used to be a freelance illustrator on games and for novels. So I went to the first issue, and I guess the American subtitle is Maid Just Simply Love to Eat. Well, probably use an S in the love, and I was confronted with these pages. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This is absolutely beautiful. Just the composition, the pacing, the layout. I'm looking at the structures. It looks like it's all freehand. There's no rulers here. It's just absolutely beautiful. The tone, the screen tone use, the use of black and white, the contrast, and the depth perception that is, and the parallax that's created therein. It's just, I mean, I could go on forever about the little intricacies of this comic and why it appeals to me so much on an aesthetic level. There's a very pristine delicateness about the way that the comic is drawn that really catches my eye. So the dialogue is fairly sparse. The comic is constructed in a way in which you breathe in the detail of the panels. But the main character, the maid in question, her name is Susumu, and apparently she's from, or she works for a family in England, or a master in England. And there's a small flashback that takes place in the first issue where she calls home after arriving in Japan, and her master tells her, I'm not sure if I should use that word, her employer tells her that the mansion in England is burned down, so she's gonna have to stay in Japan for a while. Nobody's hurt, but there's essentially nothing to come back home to. So that sets up the premise of the comic, and she is staying in Japan, and she's been here for a year, and she's partaking of the cuisine and desserts that are traditional to Japan, like this little fish pastry. It's called a taiyaki. It's not actually made out of fish. It's made out of bread and red bean curd, so it's sweet. But yeah, it's actually similar in scope to, judging by the line weight in her drawings and the way she draws faces, and the fact that on her blog she talks about sweets all the time. I think Maya Sensei is probably a woman, even though Susumu is a man's name traditionally, but it's hard to tell. It's just one of those things where the art speaks for itself. You don't need to go out there and give interviews about your politics to some third-rate website. Get the work done, and let the work speak for you. But yes, I recommend this manga wholeheartedly. You should be able to see it on Comics Days, the website. Everything's free. It's amazing. I can't believe it. I'm actually going to go out and buy the physical trade paperback because it's so good. I can't recommend it enough. If you like art, if you like a slower paced slice of life manga that focuses on food and girls, this is it. It's really, really good. This was so good. In fact, I'm going to review other manga that were nominated for the next Manga Taisho. There's something to be said about the breadth and variation of the comic industry in Japan, where you could encounter surprises like this that aren't really widely known, but it's like a diamond in the rough. Once you, wrong analogy. It's not a diamond in the rough because it's very well formed to begin with, but it's like finding a needle in a haystack. It's very satisfying when you find something like this. Alright guys, this has been Fosmith. I've been rambling for about 8 minutes now, I think. If you like videos like this, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps out. I'll see you next time. Peace!